kind of make of this start tonight?
It would have been way better if I didn't lose my mechanics in the fourth inning. Yeah, I got really out of sync and, had a few walks there in a row. And, we limited the damage, wild pitch, scored the run, but was able to come back and throw two good innings after that, especially after we scored, put up 4 runs. That was massive. So overall, good team effort for the win today.
You've been historically good in the last 6 starts here. Can you feel a difference pitching here?
I just love pitching here. Feeling the energy from the crowd, and just the magic of Fenway in general. I think every guy on the roster would say something similar. There's something special about playing games in Fenway Park, especially the position we're in the playoff race. It's a lot of fun.
There's been a couple times this year where you've lost control of one inning and then you've been able to bounce back. And how do you bounce back there in that next inning?
Find a way to get out of the inning, first of all, and then go in and kind of have a little powwow with Bales and Devin and figure out what might have went wrong. Maybe we'll look at stuff on the iPad or just kind of talk it out and then figure out the mechanical adjustment to take into the next one.
Where were you for the Duran? Were you in the dugout or in the clubhouse?
I was down in the batting cage area. That's where I like to sit when it's a more warm day.
Yeah, what did you kind of hear it or did you see it on the monitor?
We have the monitors, so watched it, and it really fired me up. So I told myself after that, it's like, okay, it's go time now. They don't get anything else.
You put some base runners on like that. Is that a skill working out of that? It feels like the staff as a whole has been pretty good with that this year.
Yeah, it's the ability to bear down, kind of make the micro adjustment, and then focus on executing good pitches. If you're no matter who's on base or what's going on, as long as you're executing good pitches, especially throwing strike one and working ahead, then it's much easier to get out of those situations. You can get bit by a little dinky base hit or something like that, but overall, you kind of want to turn it up a little bit and go for more of that missing bats type of style of pitching in those situations. And I think that as a staff, we've done a good job of that.
You mentioned kind of getting fired up watching Duran's, watching the Inside the Parker, and then you were also emotional coming off the mound in the 6th. How much does something like that, right? Something that's kind of an outlier event in baseball just change the energy around a team or Andy?
Yeah, I mean, especially considering the last couple games, we were flat. We were not pitching well. We weren't hitting well. So to just have a really big moment to kind of flip the switch and get the momentum back on our side, it was huge. So I when I see that, obviously, like I said, it fires me up, but it also, I'd say it gets me more locked in on going out and executing so that we can maintain that lead.
Because it was 2 years ago, I think this week, that you got released by the Angels, and I talked to you in Cleveland a few weeks after that, and it's probably one of the lowest points of your career, I would think.
I technically wasn't released. I was put on waivers. I mean, I guess that's released, but yeah.
Okay. But I remember talking to you, and you sounded confident you were going to get back on track.
Yeah.
But I kind of got sort of your body language. I sort of felt to me like you were concerned about your career. Mm. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I wasn't going well. It was kind of short-term, long-term. At that point, my short-term confidence was down. I was dealing with all sorts of stuff, and I wasn't, obviously very displeased with how I was throwing the ball, and I'm bouncing around between different teams. It was right ahead of free agency. I was putting way too much pressure on myself in that aspect. So yeah, that. Whereas if that was the short term, I did maintain I'm gonna figure this out at some point. It's just the matter of when. So that's the one thing. If you want to stay in this league, you have to maintain that confidence in yourself on the long term. And so I was lucky enough to be able to do that and believe in myself no matter what I was going through.
Yeah, one quick follow up on that. You did say at the time that the key was going to just be fastball command. Mm-hmm. Is it that simple, or is there more to it?
It can be that simple. There is more to it. You want to have repeatable mechanics and, you know, to get the fastball command, because I know I have good secondaries, like to get the fastball command where it needs to be, like you need to be good mechanically. You have to be able to repeat your delivery. You have to be able to make adjustments quickly if you do get out of sync. So that was just stuff that I wasn't able to do at that time. I couldn't find a way. Whereas now that, you know, we've cleaned up all the mechanical stuff, like even if I do get out of sync for an inning, then we can bounce back and be fine. Good, thanks.